Okay, welcome to a Monday night live stream. We're getting close to the end of September. We're getting a new operating system tomorrow. We're probably getting some sort of dinky logic update by the end of the week and a bigger one in October. But who knows for that? Tonight, we're talking about doing some songwriting. This is one of our songwriting streams. And we're going to treat this as if we're idiots, right? We're going to do a song pretending like we don't know anything about music. So that's our goal. The way we're going to do this is using some of Logic's tools, which are, in fact, some of them aimed at people who don't fully know how to use them or use tools or write music. But let's dive in. All I've done so far is what Logic made me do. It made me create some sort of track. I chose an instrument track. I loaded on here the vintage electric piano. I'm playing one note on my keyboard at a time. I'm pretending like that's all I can do tonight. I can play like notes in a row. I think most people could sit down and go, right? So that's where our skill level is. First thing we're going to do is look at our MIDI effects. And in this case, we're going to do the chord trigger. Chord trigger is going to be key for us tonight because it's going to take a lot of the music theory out of our hands and put it in the hands of a tool. So we're going to do, for instance, multi of the presets. And we'll do keyboard, voicings, and pop left hand, I guess. This is our harmony section. One note at a time still. Right? One note at a time. I don't even have to know what those chords are. I just have to hear if they sound interesting or not. That's all we're going to do at the beginning. Let's do this as our keys. We'll at least be organized with our labeling. The next thing we're going to do is our drummer track. And I'm not even going to do any of my fancy stuff in terms of song form because that implies more knowledge than maybe I was thinking of for this. But let me move this mic a little closer so I can not lean over. Let's pick something here. Let me think. Yeah, we'll use Darcy, the one that loaded up. That's a pop preset. But we can change it around and find a pattern we like, at least. Literally just played 4 random notes. I love that about the chord. The chord trigger plugin, the MIDI plugin, because it takes some of that. This also applies if you're writing a song and you don't have any inspiration, right? If you're just sitting there thinking, I don't know what to do, then you can just play some notes and see what happens. What I do want to do, and this is important, on that key track, and I'll pop this up bigger on the screen, we can go down to the bottom, and it says, this is inside the MIDI plugin area, which is the green above the instrument right there. At the very bottom, I can say that I want to record MIDI to track here. that means any of the chords I do will be actually written as MIDI notes. And that's going to be important for this technique that we're going to explore a little bit. Now, we do assume, maybe you don't have any musical talent or skills, but you do have to play in time. So it does have to match the drums. You don't have to be perfect because we can quantize, and I'll show you that in a second. Asterisks on my typing keyboard. Right, I'm not sure I like those drums, but you can see the MIDI file I just recorded, put all of those notes in there. Looks like did a little extra. I'm just going to delete these little hanging ones. Cool. Let's see. I want to change the drums around a little bit, just... Okay, so great. I played 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 different notes, just right next to each other on the keyboard. These notes, just for your reference, were the C, A, G, and F, which is just random. Next thing I'm going to do, because my timing was there, but it wasn't great, I'm just going to go to my track header and turn on the groove track, set the drums as the groove, and have the keys follow the groove. Now, because we're still pretending we don't know music, I'm going to option click that key part down to another track. And I wonder if that just actually did something I didn't want it to do. Let's do a new track. And we're going to use our library. Although with the library, the bottom left corner of your thing, there's these 3 dots. I'm going to enable patch merging and make sure the sends is turned off. Sends are turned off, grammatically speaking there. Because I don't want to add a bunch of reverbs and things, which Logix likes to do with the this library. So then I'm going to choose some sort of bass sound. We'll do the Liverpool bass. Perfect. Option click that key part down. And then I'm just going to delete everything that's above the lowest note, right? And that first note went a little bit off the edge, so we're just going to tighten that up. That sounds wrong. What was that first thing? Oh, it says those are all early as well. So maybe, without knowing, I'm just going to move this up to one of the other notes that was there. Yeah. Okay, so we have a bass part that at least matches harmonically, and I didn't have to know what I was doing there. I just had to take the original one from the chord trigger, delete the notes that that I didn't have, and go from there. Okay, so we could do a similar thing. Option click these ones down. I don't know what instrument this is going to be. Let's just use our library here. Maybe a synthesizer type part. We'll just do retro synth, not from the library this case. I don't know. Yeah, I changed my mind already. There's so many instruments that you could experiment with without fully understanding the musical side. Let's do sculpture. Has a lot of interesting sounds. We'll do some sort of marimba thing, right? But we're going to use an arpeggiator from our MIDI effects. And I'm going to start just moving things around. So this is more from the right headphone now, and the original key part is more from the left. So we can change, for instance, with the drums here, it's like I don't want any fills happening right now. That's the part of the drums where they're like adding things at the end of phrases. Nothing right now. And I think I'm going to move my matrix ball up a little bit to the right and up. Maybe a little soon for like the ride, so let's try the hi-hat. Turn the swing down. Okay, so we've created an 8-bar thing that I probably could figure out the chords by listening, but I'm doing this in such a way that I don't even fully know which chords they are with just off the top of my head because I didn't play them. I played random notes. That's kind of cool. I like the ability to be like, you know what? I don't know what I want to do. Logic, help me out and do some of this with me. And then I pick things that I like how they sound, right? I mean, that's the best part. Let's do, actually, instead of copying that, let's just extend it for now. So let's do another section of the song. And again, just listening to see what sounds good or pleasing, not necessarily overthinking. I don't really like that last chord, but it's one of the only ones that they gave me. We're going to go with it because obviously I don't know what else I want to do with it. But now we're going to come back and do the same thing. Where we're going to delete some stuff. I'm just going to leave all the lowest notes. It's not actually accurate. But man, we're doing it. It's this one chord that has a sustained note. We're doing it. We're doing it. And then those ones that I moved around a little bit weirdly sound weird. So I'm just going to extend them to the left because they sound late. Later still. And that one sounds late. And then option click down to the other part with the marimba. Let me hear the whole thing together. I feel like I want to fill this out with one more texture. This time I'm going to use something outside of Logic, a third-party plugin, but my favorite strings. And we'll see how that goes. Again, for the moment, Option click down. It means everything's going to be the same chords. Not usually what a musically trained person would do, but that's not what we're looking at. And I'm like, ooh, that's same range as everything else. I just want to go down. And in this case, I want to actually just thin it out by taking out most of the middle notes instead of leaving the high or low. And then for the second half, let's get rid of all the top notes and some of the other, anything that's too close together, really. Just, again, I'm thinking it was too dense. I want to make it less dense. I don't know. Just thinking about it. And then I'm thinking, let's make this way wider, right? I mean, it's like, it's filling out the bottom part, but I think it sounds really narrow. Stereo spread this thing. Maybe we'll get a new stereo spread plugin in the next version of Logic. And anytime, you don't have to be like music theory skilled to know that something just doesn't sound quite right. And that's when you learn all the audio tools like equalization to help clean up a sound, like that keyboard. point, you can say, ooh, keys, We're going to go back to patch merging. I'm going to say, all I want you to change is the instruments when loading the patch. So I want you to keep everything else because what I want to do is think, what other sounds might actually work instead of that one? Ooh, the fairy tale bells. That one changes the character quite a bit, but I think I like it. But only, I could either do a side chain off one of the other instruments or use something like step effects to really mangle. Such a long delay. I love it. Okay, here's the thing. Now, we've got that stuff hidden just like that. Maybe you have just enough of a voice to do a little bit of vocals, but I wouldn't say that you're great. That describes me perfectly. I'm going to put an equalizer. Well, technically, yeah, I'm going to do an equalizer, and then I'm going to do the pitch corrector. I mean, I know what key we're in, but you wouldn't. So you might have to look through the notes of the MIDI that you played with the chord trigger, right? Figure out which ones are there, and then just turn off all the rest. That way you'll sing in tune no matter what. And then I'll put a compressor on this just to match. Now, I'm going to switch over my audio. So you're going to lose my voice for a second. Check. Okay. Whoa, that was... Sorry if I fed back onto any of you. I fed back onto me too. And then we'll do some reverb, which we haven't set up yet. Give us a space. I typically do, doesn't matter too much, vocal plate with some low roll off. Sculpt it a little bit. Check, check. And a little bit of this for the other stuff to make it blend. Kit, I don't know. That already has one. I don't know if I need to switch it yet. What was that one? Okay. I'm just guessing at levels. Then you can just make up words, right? And this pitch thing will keep us in time, or in tune, not in time. It'll keep us in time. We're going to make it a little louder with the compressor so I can hear it. Okay. So we can even hum it or sing just syllables to help us hear something that matches. And it'll do take folders, which means later we can actually listen back and build it into a melody of things that we think sound good, and then add words, or we can start adding words now. This is the weirdest song I've ever wrote. It is the weirdest song I know. And now it's time to go. I hear the things I've heard before. And now is never time to know the things it was for me. And right? So, yeah, so that's the process. Chord trigger was the key element at the very beginning, and then I used the chord trigger parts for everything else, and then just trial and error with the voice at the end. Is it easier to learn how to play a MIDI instrument? Probably. I would guess. Let me let me go through what I did for that, but instead of using the chord trigger, let me make up my own this time. And we'll compare at the end. Oh, I see why. Let me undo that for a second. We are going to turn off the chord trigger because we don't want the chord trigger this time. Right? And we did get a comment from Totigerus. It's difficult to pretend to have no musical skill when you've been making music for 30 years. However, I think one of the greatest skills would be to pretend you don't have all of those habits and treat it like it's something fresh. That would, for me, would be one of the most important things ever. Just because it's like, sometimes we get too much in our ruts, you know, and I think it would be really kind of fun to not be in those sometimes. Okay, so now, like I said, we're doing a similar thing, but this time I'm just using all of my own chords and playing like what I know. Okay, that was not the right thing. Let's do that right there. Okay. What is this one? Oh, strings, of course. So, I mean, I'm enjoying playing it myself more than letting the chords tell me. So maybe the lesson here is, yeah, like use the chord trigger, use the tools, but the goal would be in the end to make something. So I'm actually going to pull another outside thing. I haven't opened up Reason Rack in about a month, so it's probably going to give me some sort of licensing thing. Let's hope it's not a new update available. Not surprised with that either. Let's see, factory sounds, 777. That instrument. And then we add vocals to this too, you know? And now I hear the things I never knew and what it came to be. And now I knew that it was evermore. So let's do the full thing. The first half made with the chord trigger and Logic. The second half made by me. Let's see. And now I know. And now it's time to go. And where it was to be free. And so I looked around to say the things I always want to say. just do that little brick at a time. Time to go and where it was to be free, and where it was to be free, and where it was to be and where it was to be free. That one needs to be rewritten, obviously. And so I looked around to say the things I always want to say. And so I looked around. Let me extend that 2 beats. And so I looked around to say the things I always want to say. And so I looked around to say the things I always want to say. Always want to say. And now it comes around to be. Let's undo that. Change that in. Okay, cool. Always want to say. And now it comes around to be. And now it comes around to be. And now it comes around to be. Oh, I can't take that one seriously at all. What did I do in this one? And now it's time to be the way that I was born to be. And now it's time to be the way that I was born to be. And now it's time to be the way that I was born to be. Okay, this is dumb. Do-do-do. I really like the backing track. I just don't like any of the vocal stuff. But that's part of it too. It's right. It's like, let's delete all that stuff. There we go. For all. I should have just clicked for all. There we go. Yeah, like just creating on the fly and expecting it to be good every time is not realistic, but I really like the part that I wrote without the chord trigger. Can you really make good music without understanding music theory? Yeah. I mean, there's enough people that do it. That we have to believe that that's just a thing. Some people get it without having all the training, and They are able to recognize what works and what doesn't work more than somebody who may have had 30 years of training, right? Certainly that's the case in my case. It's like I can do certain styles of music, I can do my own stuff, but if you were to say do something in this genre, I mean, I could do most genres to a certain degree, but it's not going to be like a replica of the spark of somebody who just breathes that style, if that makes sense. But cool. I hope this all made sense and was useful for somebody. We're going to pull the plug on the stream. We got to 52 minutes. Woo! Enjoy. Catch you on the next one. We're going to probably be doing some videos this week when things hit the fan with Logic and things, but always got to have a reminder to make music instead of just update your software. Make music first. Worry about the update later.